The master mixer of the patented Monday montage, win, lose, or tie, is Eric Nordquist. He's mad producer, and I'm Paul Allen, so hey there. Some FIFA to start, FIFA, FIFA to start. It's Fairness and Fairness Act, all right? Off the negativity and unhappiness and frustration voiced off last week's performance in the Cappuccino capital by the Minnesota Vikings. FIFA, Fairness in Fairness, because negative history avoidance was required yesterday, and they gave their best when their best was required. So here it is with the FIFA Fairness and Fairness Act. The Minnesota Vikings will not lose 9 in a row, which would have been the worst in team lore. The Minnesota Vikings scored a touchdown in the first quarter, so 8 in a row, sans 6, was handled early. The Minnesota Vikings will not have the worst home record in the history of Minnesota Vikings football. All Wilfs were in attendance. All Wilfs were in attendance.
I always love that one.
And prominent on the pregame sideline, so sorry to disappoint the money-stealing aggregators, but let the record show that took place yesterday. While minus FIFA Fairness and Fairness Act, while minus 12 in the take-give certainly is not preferred, it now means the Minnesota Vikings would have to go minus 10, the final 4, to set the team record for that sucker. And if they do that, well, shame on FIRA, F-I-R-A, FIRA, Fairness in Ruining That Great Day Yesterday Act. In the first shutout since the Dobbs game at Vegas. That was the day Jefferson ended up in the hospital due to it being the Dobbs game. And yesterday it was the Commanders who ended up in the infirmary for broken hearts and dislocated elbows. No change to the A topic for 9 to noon. He's JJ McCarthy and his improvement and his 3 passing TD day for the first time in his brief NFL run. And consistency off that young man's first home win. Yeah, that's the A topic. 9 to noon, and should be with Minnesota Vikings fans. He was genuinely appreciative of the fans clapping for him as he departed the field. And that stupid 9 thing was far from in play after the game.
Thank goodness for that, right?
Indeed. In fact, his alter ego was that of staying calm, bragging about how quickly his son is growing, and crediting the Minnesota Moving Company for helping him to his first pick 3-2. And the Minnesota Moving Company for helping him to his first pick-free game through 7.
Thank goodness that streak ended, right? I mean, 6 consecutive games, giving it to the other team.
Yeah.
How about we were takers in the giving season, as you put last week? We finally won the freaking turnover battle. First time, I think, since the Cincy game.
Dallas Sunday night, consistency required, and J.J. McCarthy knows that. The team's A topic is still in play very much. Talkbacks, please, by the way. Hit the free iHeart Radio audio media app and leave a contribution, and we hopefully will play it back somewhere during the course of the radio show. All righty, this bad boy is going to clearly trigger a Steve's Appliances marathon segment. Steve'sAppliances.com, and Sarah and Brian super happy. The Commanders went boiling over on the fresh Frigidaire Gallery stainless steel cooktop you can get right now and save $600. Black Friday deals extended to Wednesday, so start at the website, Steve'sAppliances.com. This small fellowship first business is big on saving you money. Thank you for the marathons. Thank you for the feast. And thank you, Steve's Appliances. And thank you, Minnesota Vikings, for keeping the Davenport of love stored away and acquiescing to our patented locker room drive-bys. Blew off the contraption's cobwebs, went all hyper in the locker room, and we started with offensive lineman Donovan Jackson, a well-compensated member of the Minnesota Moving Company. He's a tough guy, too. And we started with what can be gained and what can be learned when you're opposite crafty veterans like Deron Payne.
Yeah, there's things you see on tape, but then he's obviously a veteran rusher. He's been in the league for a long time, so, there are things that he'll do that you haven't seen on film, so you have to learn and adapt from it. And their whole defense was veteran. So, they're obviously savvy vets who, that can adapt on the fly. So, it was, for me at least, it was, trying to make the right play, trying to make the right move, and just staying true to technique.
And lastly, that has to be kind of cool growing up and watching the likes of Bobby Wagner and Von Miller. I mean, there's a couple of Hall of Famers there, and you got a chance to play against them.
Yeah, when Vaughn was at Texas A&M, I lived 30 minutes away from there, so I grew up watching him at Texas A&M get drafted to the Broncos, and I was like, man, I'm playing against this guy right now. And obviously Wagner, when he was on the Seahawks, man, I remember I was in middle school when that was happening. So just seeing that and playing against those guys, and they're still playing at a high level, man, it's just kind of cool to see.
I'm glad it worked out this way after that Saturday night game of the Big Ten championship. Did Miles Price give it to you pretty good?
Yeah, I still got it. we had a little something, so I had some pent up anger, so I had to put it out on the field, man. But don't worry, the Bucs are gonna be back.
You're fantastic, man. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
Donovan Jackson, rookie left guard for the Minnesota Vikings, part of that 31-0 victory. More from the Minnesota Moving Company here, Will Fries, who stole the show, by the way, on Vikings country earlier in the week, and has started all 13 games. And a 31-0 victory snaps that losing streak. How'd it work out for you today? You must have had a good time.
It was a lot of fun out there. When we can run the ball like that, and we're just efficient on offense, and things just start clicking for us. I mean, what else can I ask for? When you put in that preparation all week, and it finally starts to come together on Sunday, and you realize your potential, and there's so much more good stuff we can build off of now going forward.
So Will, when the head coach publicly says during the course of the week, all right, we're going to simplify some things and start dealing with all this quarterback technique and all that stuff in the offseason, what's your take on what's simplified today that right now, having not watched it back, that worked?
Yeah, I think anytime that you can come off the ball and play fast, and you don't have to think too much. We're getting the looks that we're practicing all week, and you can just come off the ball, time after time after time, and keep leaning on them as offensive line. That's kind of what you dream about. It makes it a lot of fun, and kind of like I said before, when you're able to kind of build off of a game like that, we can continue to get more complex and do what we need to down the road.
My man, awesome having you on the team. Another dynamite effort today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's Will Fries as the hi Ryan, as the drive-bys continue here from a celebratory Minnesota Vikings locker room after a 31-0 victory. I'm just going to run over here and chat with JJ McCarthy with a quick little drive-by. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much. Yeah.
That's the 50th win today at U.S. Bank Stadium for the football team. And your first win at home. Your first win in front of these fans who love you. How great is that?
Oh, it's fantastic. Just couldn't wait to get it done. Obviously, the only thing I remember from a home win that I played was a preseason game, so it's been a while. So it's good to get it done.
Yeah, and I just asked Donovan Will Fries this question about O'Connell publicly this week is hey, there are things that we need to work on technique wise with JJ. We're going to put a lot of that into the off season. Just go ahead and let him rip and simplify some things. And when you're somebody like me and you hear that, you don't exactly know what it means. So sharing what you can share, having not watched it back, what simplified today that really helped you?
I think just, Coach O'Connell, he has such a beautiful mind in terms of offensive schemes, and he dials up amazing plays, but you're learning almost a whole new offense with new formations, new concepts going into each week on top of one play having two plays, and we just simplified it down. One play that was multi-purpose that had, a yes-no answer in the pre-snap, and then I could carry out through the rest of the reads. But, yeah, it was fantastic just to simplify things, and everyone played fast and free.
Last one, Bud, quickly. 3 touchdowns to the tight ends. You throw 3 for the first time in your emerging NFL career. Josh catches 2 for the first time in his career. TJ got 1. Did you come into the game? Is this a game where you're hey, the tight ends could be live here, or was it a process of the way things developed?
It's really funny. I've talked about, a game like this with them in the offseason all the time, and they're always their words, not mine. It's always the games we never think we're going to get the ball that we show up. So it just is a precedent to no matter what the expectations are, they always come to work. They always, strain every single snap, and it's one of the most underrated positions in the sport. So I'm happy they got their love.
And I'm extremely happy for you, J.J. McCarthy. Well done.
Thank you so much, brother.
It's J.J. McCarthy, quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, got his first victory at U.S. Bank Stadium, and it was in his 7th start as the drive-bys, the long-awaited drive-bys. I haven't done these in a little while. They're underway, and just kind of rolling around the locker room now to see who's available and what we can get accomplished after a 31-0 victory over the Washington Commanders. Hi, Jonathan Grenard. We're doing great, man. First drive-bys in a month. I mean, you were out for some of them, but now you're back, and you guys are back in the winner's circle. And, it's during the course, and it's a team game, man. You know more about it than all of us. But during the course of that 4-game losing streak, I mean, it's like it's your third down defense. They were getting first downs 25% of the time. Cashman sitting on like 15, 16 tackles every game. You play like 15 snaps at Seattle, but they were super meaningful. You took down Darnold 38% of the sacks, but you guys didn't win. So from a defensive standpoint, not only the shutout today, first shutout since 2023, but defensively, you have to feel pretty good about it despite that losing streak, right?
No, it definitely feels good. Obviously, when everything comes right and comes together, we play off of each other's complimentary ball, take care of the ball on offense, and take the ball away on defense, and limit the penalties on special teams. I feel like that's a good recipe for winning. So everything just came together. It was a good day, and we're just going to run with it.
And I felt really good for you guys, not only winning the game, but shoot, that time of possession went the right way. I mean, you guys were like 27 and change into it, like third worst in the game, and that's just not what this team's all about. So you got a chance to catch your breath.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I feel like I was on the sideline forever for a good bit, which is a good thing for us. So that way we can just get rested up, and obviously just whenever it's our time to go, we're fresh, got fresh legs, and ready to go dominate. So, like I said, man, it was good on all phases. It's complimentary ball all the way around, and that's where you get the best result today.
Congratulations on the victory, and we'll hear you on the Power Trip Tuesday. They love having you on. You're fantastic on the show. And ask Meat Sauce about what his final score prediction was this week.
I know you got one crazy. It's coming. And
it was ridiculous this week. It just I think it was like 100-4. It was some stupid. Yeah, so get him, okay?
That's pretty normal. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at this point. When you throw one crazy take out there, you're kind of capable of a lot of crazy takes. So we'll hear about it on Tuesday for sure.
Man, it's great having you. Great seeing you smile like this, and everybody in this locker room so happy. Thank you.
Thank y'all, man. Let's go.
That's Jonathan Grenard, edge guy for the Minnesota Vikings, as the drive-bys continue here in a victorious Minnesota Vikings locker room where, let's go. I got to go over here for 1 second. Just, hey, Harry, quick little drive-by. That was interception number 38. Puts you in fourth all-time in Vikings history, passing Joey Browner. Mariota kind of made it easy for you, but you still closed on it. And overall, man, that defensive effort today was fantastic. But like I just shared with Jonathan Grenard, I mean, it's a team game. I get it. But during that 4-game losing streak, defense was playing pretty well. Good to see that time of possession go the right way today. Old people like me, man, got a chance to catch the breath.
Yeah, that's one of those things you look back on. Time of possession, turnovers tend to point to the outcome of every game. So things went our way today.
Yeah, +3. I mean, that minus 15 obviously is ridiculous. I'm glad you worked on that today. But, to end this, because I got people waiting for you and, people got things to do on Sunday. This was good ball. This was good ball. That's a good way to put it, right?
Absolutely. It was, it's what you talk about. It was complimentary football. I think the pivotal point was us getting that fourth down stop early at the goal line and our offense going all the way down and scoring. That kind of established what the game was going to be.
See you next week. Thanks, bud.
All right, thanks, Pierre.
That's Harry the Hitman. He's football and Vikings immortality. And he had an interception today, his first of the season. That was a 38 in the career of Harrison Smith, which once again put him past Joey Browner for fourth all-time. And, in fact, if Harrison can get a sack over the course of the final 4 games, then he'll join Rondé Barber as the only 2 players in a National Football League history with at least 38 interceptions and 21.5 sacks. Jonathan, I'm doing these drive-bys real quick. I haven't done them in a month, man. Missed them badly. 8 with Washington. Of course you're going to want to beat them today. Thought you played with your hair on fire, quite honestly. But nevertheless, Washington, whether it's Redskins, WFT, WTF, whatever it was, Commanders, well, that place will always hold a special place in your heart, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I went to high school in the area, spent 8 years of my career there, so I love those guys over there. But, as always, it's always good to beat them. And right now I'm just so excited to be a Minnesota Viking. So definitely an old chapter of my life, but I still have so much love for those guys over there.
John, you're trying to get out of your last one. I don't know if you've seen it back or not, but I know you'll watch it probably today or tomorrow. Javon on the forced fumble and the fumble recovery by the sideline. I mean, that's a very hard play. I'm not going to say hard play for big people. I'm just going to say that's a hard play. So he needed that, man. That was very good for him. One of my favorite players since he came into the league. And, likewise for you. And just the way they orchestrate defense here. For somebody on the outside like me, I'm just kind of like, hey, nose tackle, defensive tackle, all this blitzing and everything. But it's good to see you guys play as well as you played today.
Amen. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Dallas next game. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Excited.
Right on. That's Jonathan Allen. 8 years with the Washington football program. First year with the Minnesota Vikings. And, he really, really had himself a good game today. All right, last one in the drive-bys. Man, it's nice to have these drive-bys. Byron Murphy Jr. Byron Murphy Jr. If I'm doing drive-bys, which it feels like I haven't done in a year, I'm going to find you. And it's your 100th game. So you and I chat more so off the microphone than we do about God's blessings of choosing. You get to do exactly what you want to do for a career as long as you have. Put the money to the side, put the interceptions, everything to the side. 100 games, man. That's quite the accomplishment. Well done. How do you feel?
I'm glad you told me that because that definitely feels good. Obviously, reaching this goal, obviously being in the league, obviously, just, some people say 2 to 3 years just to get to this point. I'm thankful every single day. Thankful for the guys around me. I would say in this locker room that, we just, we've been through some stuff this year, but we're obviously, we got each other's backs. So that's a wonderful thing to be around. And obviously my family, shout out my family, that always just stuck to my side, supporting all those type of things. So I'm just thankful to keep playing this game that I love.
And you're a very physical player, specifically in the tackling game. And tell me what you think of this take that I had into the game. It's like, hey, when you're 4-8 and the other team's 3-9, these can become human nature games, where you just got to watch, make sure everybody's on point for every single play because it's a violent game. Reason I bring it up is when I started watching the Commanders this week, I was like Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, the way Laramie Tunsil's playing this year, and Jeremy McNichols. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of him. That's a bruising, pounding, super physical team. Did you know that coming into it? And how do you handle that?
Oh, definitely. We knew this was a team who also catches the ball and gets yards after. And they're a bunch of yak guys, once you're just trying to get the playmakers the ball and obviously go make plays. So we knew that about Debo. Obviously, going in, we knew he was going to be a screen guy and all those type of things. But everybody else, we knew they were going to run hard and just play physical. So we just got to go out there and match their physicality and then obviously, go make those tackles.
Hey, man, it's great to see you smile. And I know you're smiling because you're a team first guy. Man, you guys won 31-0. It's hard shutting out teams in the NFL.
It definitely is, but we got to do something that happened to us. So we got to come out here and then show everybody what we're about. But I'm just thankful we got the win today. Obviously, it was a team game today, and both sides all three phases did their job today.
Yeah. Now, I mean, whether it's a tip pass, block shot, as O'Connell will call it, route jump, somebody throws it, I don't care what it is. I know how badly you want an interception, and I'm just going to lay it out for you, man. Into the game, you've gone 16 consecutive without one. I think your longest streak was 19 consecutive back when you were with Arizona. So you've looked at that, I can tell. And but that's the wonderment of how you play and what Flores preaches, where yes, you want it desperately, but you're not going to compromise other teammates trying to do something dumb to get it, right?
Exactly. And that's, you just got to think about how teams are coming in and playing us. Guys are coming in, trying to, run the ball, get quick stuff, not take shots down the field, all those type of things, but opportunity's still there. We still got games left, and I'm still trying to go get multiple. So I'm going to still go get that ball somehow, but we're going to figure it out.
100 games for Byron and one big win today. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Byron Murphy Jr. That's my main man right there. He's absolutely fantastic. And let's wrap up the drive-bys rolling over here. TJ, quick drive-by. Feels like I haven't done them in about 5 years. But first and foremost, thanks for the wonderful chat at Toys for Tots at Eden Prairie Shields, and the crowd just so engaged with you, man, and just your giving and putting others first. Thank you very much for that.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me. It's such a great event to be able to do that every year and then be able to share with the kids and the fans. So.
Okay, so now from the giving nature of T.J. Hawkinson, he had a touchdown today, to the punishing nature of T.J. Hawkinson. You took on two at the goal line. One of them laid there for 30 seconds after you were done. I mean, 4-game losing streak. It's kind of like you took it all out right there, trying to pound to get into the end zone.
Yeah, no, I knew it was going to be a bang bang play, and I'm not sure if I was in on the first one or not, but made sure to define it. So, it was such a great team win, a lot of complimentary football, and it's just great to be in this locker room on this side of the ball. And I love all these guys, and there's a lot of excitement in this room, and it's deserved. So,
last one. How about Josh Oliver, your tight end room's mate? First 2-touchdown game of his career. Good for Josh, man. That's fantastic.
Oh, so much fun. Love seeing it. Josh is one of those guys that does a lot of the dirty work, and for him to be able to get up and be able to score a couple touchdowns is a lot of fun to watch, and be able to celebrate in the end zone with him on the first one was fun too. So we'll hopefully enjoy some more of those and keep this thing moving.
Can you get used to these 2 hour and 40-minute games?
Dang right.
Thank you, DJ.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What Byron Murphy say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Those are the drive-bys and part of the Timber Tech What's on Deck set list, which includes the weekend wrap around the corner, courtesy of Hoffman Cooling and Heating and HoffmanHeating.net. Also, the analyst Pete Bursich joins 9 to noon, per usual, about 10:03. That's courtesy of Sukup Manufacturing and Sukup.com. And about an hour from now, a little less than an hour from now, the producer of 9 to noon, Nordo, Mad Producer 1 via X. Follow him if you're so inclined. So moved by the 1298 and 1201, he texted me during the game, and we came up with the dissection of a drive. It was 19, make that 1998, 1201. 19 plays, 98 yards, 12 minutes and a tick, and it's going to be fun dissecting an aberration, a 19-play, 98-yard drive that was consummated by Jordan Mason shaking a very easy tackle to the left side and walking into the end zone for his 6th touchdown this season. That'll be a few segments from now. Parker Fox will join the equation, and the Sultan of Smug, L. He's all full of himself right now for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Seriously speaking, FIHA, Fairness and Honesty Act, that Packers-Bears game yesterday, that felt like I was watching an NFC title game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was tightly contested. It was good football for the most part, and Green Bay got the money. But David is an IU grad, and that's where his son Jackson attends or attended. And IU.
Man, just everything coming up city these days.
Zach Royce's Hoosiers beat Donovan Jackson's Ohio State Buckeyes. David's going to feel good about that. That's once again all part of the Timber Tech What's on Deck set list. Excellent work by Nordo with the montage. And I'm Paul Allen. Here we are on this chilly Monday in the cornfields of the Twin Cities, just to the west of Erotic City, known as Minneapolis. The Minnesota Vikings crushed the Commanders. Big D, Dallas next, Sunday Night Football, KFAN at 7:20. You're listening to 9 to noon at FM 100.3 KFAN, and we're back in a flash.
You app.
Bam, bam, bam. Via my Twitter page, you'll have the what's happening and like trending and stuff like that. So I saw the name Dan Quinn and I clicked on it during the drive-bys. It basically, if you take the names Dan Quinn and I believe it's Adam Peters, and replace them with certain names here from last week, it's like the more things change, the more they stay the same. It's just the ways and means and teams become rearranged. Like this triple from 19 hours ago, something triple LMFAO. JD5 injured, Ertz injured, Dan Quinn is a head coach, got to rely on a Commander's defense. I'm a fan of a poverty franchise, which is my effing fault. Weekend ruined, and I have school tomorrow. Triple with a home run. Hoffman Cooling and Heating, thank you very much for the weekend wrap. Owner Scott Hendricks, over the moon with the Purples win yesterday. So hit him and Hoffman up for a furnace performance test. That's like 50 and change and a steal of a deal. Also, until the end of the year, please look into this. This is Hoffman Cooling and Heating, hoffmanheating.net. Up to $5,600 in rebates on qualifying heating system installations. So call now to schedule and save big. Restrictions apply. Start at the website. That would be hoffmanheating.net. NFL. Look at these guys trying to mess up the top pick in the 2026 draft.
Hand to Pollard. Pollard right side patiently. 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Makes another cut. 30, 25, 20. One man to beat. He beat it. And that is a Titans touchdown. 65 yards. Tony Pollard. Touchdown Titans.
Seriously, for the Tennessee Titans, good for them. That's a lot of losses over there, and that had to feel good for the baby blue covenant. Now, of course, after being flummoxed by Flores, Sam, the man who used to play on the Fan, well, of course he got hot with Smith and Jigba.
Darnold steps up in the pocket, dumps it off underneath, and it's caught. Touchdown! Seahawks! JSN flips the ball into the stands to some Seahawks fans. His second touchdown reception of the game.
3 TDs for Sam, 2 for Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Kirk O'Chains didn't like that. He didn't like that. Kirk O'Chains had a rough one. 2 picks and no touchdowns, and a yards per attempt, closer to 5 than it was 6. Maybe over Johnny for the old Cuz Buzz trick, and the Super Chickens found a way to win another game, tied with the LA Rams atop the NFC West, as those teams with the green and gold continue to perform at quite the high level to house the 1 seed in the NFC. The Sultan joins around 11:40 to chat about this.
Tight end, left side of the line. Snap, give Jacobs up the middle, burrowing his way, end zone, and he is in. Yes, a touchdown. Josh Jacobs would not be denied, and the Packers lead 27-21.
After the game, we were able to chat with David Sinekin, the Sultan of Smug, to set up the 11:40 border battle today. And regarding yesterday's game at Lambeau Field, the Sultan had this to say.
Fall down, Chicago Bears. Ha ha ha. United face.
Good football game. Caleb Williams missed Cole Kmet quite badly at the end of the game, and they needed that touchdown like they needed to breathe. But Ben Johnson has done uber fantastic work with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
And the Green Bay Packers are atop the NFC North, and they hook the Denver Broncos next week. That game's at Denver. That should be a doozy. By the way, our beloved Wild have lost 2 in a row, and that's weird.
Jake DeBrusque carries ahead and dumps it in. Volstead out with his goal step. Lost the puck. Look out. They score. And who else but Ratu? A 3-point game. As the young netminder fumbled it away. Slam dunk for Ratu. It's 4-1.
Volstead was tagged for 4 at the Couve, a game after Bus took the L at Calgary. But all still good in the hood, though. And the Wild are at the Kraken tonight. That one's on KFAN. And said Seattle squad has lost 5 consecutive. And in the business, we should be able to call these Kraken a slump buster.
Yeah.
This is the weekend wrap, courtesy of Hoffman Cooling and Heating, hoffmanheating.net. NBA, T-Wolves haven't lost since OKC, and that's 5 in a row. 5 in a row, 4 Fin show. 5 in a row, 4 Fin show. 5 in a row to the good. They get Phoenix here tonight. And, Saturday night. How about that Big Ten title game?
Here's the snap, saying back to throw again. Pressure comes, rolls to his right. Tries to run with it, throws it down the field. It is tipped up in the air, and that's the ball game right there. Indiana wins! Indiana has beaten the Ohio State Buckeyes, the #1 team in the country. The Hoosiers have beaten the Buckeyes, and Indiana is going to the college football playoff.
much fun talking about high-end games. The Sultans Hoosiers are real deal Holyfield. And next play in the Rose Bowl against the Oklahoma-Alabama winner. The college football playoff piece is super cool, even to casuals like Nordo and yours truly. And the first game will indeed be Sooners versus John Lewis's Tide a couple of Fridays from now. And that game is in Norman, Oklahoma. That is the weekend wrap. Thanks to Hoffman Cooling and Heating and HoffmanHeating.net. Go to HoffmanHeating.net to support this small standalone business, HoffmanHeating.net, and we love you guys. Talkbacks to the free iHeart Audio app, please, and we will run back a bevy of them around the corner on FM 100.3 KFAN.
Good morning, gentlemen. Mike from Tampa, PA, Nordo. Nice to have a good day on Monday. All the sadness we've had. I loved what I saw yesterday, but it was one game. I think the true test comes on the road against Dallas this Sunday. I'm not giving the anointment to JJ as of yet. Still think that he needs a lot of work, but one hell of a performance yesterday, gentlemen. Looking forward to seeing what they can do Sunday night if they can keep that momentum.
Thank you, Michael.
I feel you.
Hoping to get to Tampa Bay down shortly after the season. Maybe we can say hello.
Ooh.
And with J.J. McCarthy, it's Sunday night. You know, the last time he played on Sunday Night Football was off a very positive fourth quarter at Soldier Field. And the team lost to the Atlanta Falcons, a very beatable team, and failed to score a touchdown. Nationally televised game, Tirico and the group, bad for business. This is another opportunity for McCarthy to continue to take a step with 9 to Noon's A-Topic. I mean, if for whatever the reason the game plan is constructed where they're running more than they're passing and the play action has merit and Deron Bland falls or Jefferson puts somebody on a double move and say McCarthy lights it up for 375, 3-0. The exact same edict is in play 9 to noon, Monday and or Tuesday as we move forward with McCarthy through what will be 8 starts. Consistency obviously is required, but there are going to be highs and we've seen a fair amount of lows. So it's unfair and it's actually duplicitous to preach the patience required, a topic of the team, most important thing rest of the year, work on the off season, and do that only when things are bad and when things are poor. McCarthy managed it beautifully yesterday. In watching back a majority of the first half at this stage, you know, and I would imagine same thing probably took place in the second half. There are guys running free. And, you know, he at this stage of the equation, with the way the progressions are requested to be managed, whether he's coming through with it or not, there are open guys. O'Connell's been scheming guys wide open all year. And whether it's McCarthy or Wentz or Brosmer, you know, it's whether it's one of the 22 offensive line combinations not holding up, a running back missing something, or a quarterback just making mistakes. It's all part of the maturation and the A-topic with this team week by week until you get up to about 18, 20, 22, 23. Let me ask you a question before the next talk back. Yesterday on Vikings Fan Line, why did Ron Johnson call you Nego? Why did he call you? He said, you're Nordo, you're not Nego. Why are you being so negative? But the thing is I tuned into RJ and Nego right after you must have said something that triggered the Nego. Or is he just like out of his mind and good morning?
Well, he may be, I mean, Ron's probably out of his mind, but it was a texter because I was asking Ron kind of, how do you sum up this performance in terms of balancing? Kid absolutely took steps yesterday, but the Commanders had absolutely some quit to them yesterday.
Crazy.
And it was like, I mean, we were looking at like a 2017 All-Pro roster. I mean, with the Wagners of the world and Deron Payne, not exactly new to the league, et cetera.
I liked your I liked your LA Clippers analogy at the
NFL's
Feast
Clippers.
Thursday. It's like, I mean, James Harden, yes, he can still play. So can Jeremy Reeves. But there are times that, veterans just decide, hey, I'm just going to I don't want to rehab in the off season.
Yeah, no, and so just kind of balancing, and we talked about this into the game, that you look at the schedule, it's like the Washington Commanders, where they are at, a 3-win operation in their own right, this is as gettable a defense as you're going to see on the remainder of the schedule.
Yep.
And then it played out that way. So, JJ did what he was supposed to do against that defense. So I was just being called negative by a listener as if I was trying to qualify or provide an asterisk to the performance when overall really, and you hit it during the drive-bys when you chatted with JJ briefly, I thought there was something telling just in terms of playing a little more free. He kind of mentioned, fewer answers to each play. And he went out there and handled business. So he did what you're supposed to do against a bad team, which is convert third downs at a high level and dagger them with some TDs.
We have Kevin O'Connell tomorrow at 11 o'clock at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. And one of the questions that I know I'm going to craft later today involves what my perception of what I saw from J.J. McCarthy yesterday, well in advance of the game, and then after the game in the locker room, before, during, and after the drive-by, is he was calmer, and it's absolutely by design. I mean, this is somebody, whether it's his dad or his mom or O'Connell or a teammate, somebody's talking to him with just like take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And we ain't going to be bouncing around with that alter ego thing. Yeah, the alter ego 9-bit. It's like a few weeks ago when you brought it up to me, and I'm like, the 9-bit sucks.
Yeah,
okay,
it's weird.
It's not the kid with the ruddy cheeks and the curly hair coming out of the hat. Yeah, he made a mistake, and it eventually will go away. But when you do things like that, and it goes, as the kids would say, viral on social media, every mistake you make, either a rube, a player, somebody will find it and capitalize on it, not to hurt you, but for their benefit, to try to get that repost and that like thing, and however you do things on TikTok and or Instagram. Spinning.
The picture's been bouncing around. The picture's been bouncing around with the mean mug. Yep. I mean, I've seen they've put like Jalen Hurts' face on him. They've put Governor Walls' face on him. It's been heavily used.
Yeah, the 9-bit was diseased.
It was. But the only way that you make that go away, PA, is by evolving and playing better. And
not just ignoring what slings and arrows of outrageous negativity will come at you with people trying to get under your skin. That's easy for McCarthy. Not responding to people on social media, making it elevator music. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean he and others don't see it, and it doesn't impact them. Specifically when they're hurt and they're losing, and they play 2 games and they miss 5, and they play 4 and they miss 1, And so before the game, when I get down there about 9:45 on the sideline, McCarthy and Brosmer were warming up, and JJ he had a calm to him. He just wasn't bouncing around, and you don't want to take the vivacious, happy-go-lucky, God-given nature out of somebody. But it was abundantly apparent to me that by design he kept himself markedly calmer into the game. And during the game, we saw what we saw, managed it beautifully. And then after the game, super calm with that. Alter ego was that of crediting the Minnesota Moving Company for moving humanity the way it did. And that I thought that was a good step taken by J.J. McCarthy. The last time he was on Sunday Night Football didn't go so well.
No, it did not.
So this game Sunday night at Dallas, that like Mike from Tampa said on Tampa Bay said on the talkback, it's there will be no anointing from 9 to noon or learned football minds if he goes 375-3-0 or if he goes 175-0-2.
Yeah.
It's the next step.
Right.
And that actually, I think, for you and I, and maybe a fair amount listening right now, That's an enjoyable part of the process.
It is.
Sadly, it's from 5-8. I mean, sadly, if it was a 7-6 or an 8-5, and the pressure cooker was hotter with the newbie making starts 7, 8, 9 or whatever, well, that would be a different scenario. But you hear it on 9 to noon a fair amount, specifically this time of the year, when I say human nature gets to win. And that's what happened with a fair amount of the Commanders yesterday. And it's not like they came out of the gate being like, all right, we ain't going anywhere. We're 3-9. We've lost 7 in a row. We're 1-6 on the road. And here we are in the cornfields. So we're just going to go ahead and lay down and just give you a 31-point victory. But when you march down the field and score, and all they've seen all week is a team that has absolutely minimal chance of scoring touchdowns. All right, that's a little bit of a jab right there. When they get down to the 2-yard line, and they got 3, they had been running quite well with Rodriguez. In fact, I think they ran for like 17 yards, 2 consecutive plays. Then they get to 2nd, 3rd, and 4th and goal from the 2, and they throw 3 times in a row. And Deebo Samuel dropped a rather catchable pass back center of the end zone. All right, well, that now was the uppercut. Well, the knockout punch, the roundhouse, took place after that with the 19-play, 98-yard, 12-minute, and a second touchdown drive capped by Jordan Mason. That's it. It's over, Johnny, right there for Washington, with human nature absolutely prevailing for a majority of the game. There's somebody I now follow on Twitter named Grant Paulson. He's a radio host on the Commanders flagship, and I joined him Friday for his radio show. He does a really good job. And the Commanders travel a lot of people. The growing up in the D.C. area, I remember how big Washington Redskins football was in that market when I lived there. But even with the Commanders at like 3-9, I mean, there's Santana Moss on the sideline. They got Fred Smoot doing a post-game show. They have a bunch of former players doing a bunch of bits for their pregame show and TV and stuff like that. And this Grant Paulson, who does the radio show, he traveled to the game. And he tweeted about 30 minutes ago talking about the Commanders. This season has been really bad. It's very hard to lose 8 straight in the NFL. It's very hard to lose 9 of 10 in the NFL. It's very hard to lose a game 31-0 in the NFL. It's very hard to lose 5. They've lost 5 games by 21 points or more. This has been beyond bad. It's hard to be this bad. But Dan Quinn is not, nor should he be, on the hot seat. He had a get-out-of-jail-free card to use coming off the magical NFC title game run in 2024. He used it this season. But he's out of get-out-of-jail-free cards, and they need to start fast in 2026. Super Bowl, homeboy. See, we're not the only ones that include 2026 into the equation after things get a little wonky. That was a really cool tweet. Talk back.
Hey guys, Gail from Maple Grove. All year, all I've been reading on X is what a bust J.J. McCarthy is. Gosh, this team never wins. We can't win. We are so bad. All we do is lose. And then when we win yesterday, all I read is, but it was the worst defense in the NFL. But it ruins our draft pick. It's like, do you want to win or don't want to win? I want to win. I'm a season ticket holder for 30 years. I like winning. I love winning. And I'm thrilled for J.J. and I'm thrilled for the Vikings. Skol.
Yeah. Very cool.
The Vikings.
Now, from a draft pick standpoint, where people immediately will be like, I'm pulling my tickets.
Yeah.
Lose the rest of the games. Hey, guys, lose 9 in a row and become the losingest team in the history of a storied franchise. Yeah, that sounds cool. Their draft position changed minimally yesterday. In fact, the first pick didn't change at all.
I don't believe that they lost any ground. That I could tell yesterday on Fan Line. That's all people really wanted to talk about was JJ and then the negative side. When you have a season like this, and I'm like, fans can think whatever they want, but they get to a point where people didn't want to call in to say, hey, it was super cool that JJ took steps yesterday. They wanted to find negativity to complain because it was a 4 and now a 5-win team. I'll take QB development if you're worried about drafts and worried about picks. How about our freaking 10th overall pick becomes a franchise QB? How about we see if we have some hope in the 10th overall selection and worry later about whether we're picking 11th or we're picking 14th? You think that freaking matters in the grand scheme? First of all, players don't care about draft picks. They care about their stats and their paychecks, and a lot of them, professional pride-wise, just want to go out and win.
Preach.
So the players aren't sitting there, man, it'd be great if JJ looks good, but we lose. They're not trying to thread needles. They're trying to play the freaking game, and the long-term optimism in this team sits and rests, not with number 18, but with number 9 as we sit here today. So winning games and having momentum, maybe not as a team with all the turnover, but with an individual in McCarthy, that means infinitely more than, again, whether we're picking the best safety at 11 or we're picking the best safety at 13th. It's ridiculous. It's a stupid talker, and it's just traditional. We are who we are. We're always going to be awful negativity that naturally emanates when you're having a tough season like this.
Amen, brother!
Faith and goal.
One more little baby talk back, please, than the analyst.
All right, let me see here.
Hey, Nordo, APA. So I think it's great that Kevin O'Connell is able to get these guys motivated with that speech or whatever he said. I'm paraphrasing about what would your 16-year-old self say if you could look at yourself now and see that you're in the NFL. I think that's a great speech to motivate the guys. Clearly it worked. My only question is, how do you sustain it? What speech do you give this week to make sure that we don't lay an egg against Dallas? Because you see it so many times after an emotional high, we have a letdown the next game. Thanks, guys.
Good talk back, and truncated answer here with the analyst on the horizon. The motivational, inspirational speeches / preaches by head coaches nights before games or even days of game. Well, I mean, they can motivate man, no doubt. But, you know, when you're trying to bring down Jeremy McNichols and you're not exactly sure how physical he is and he trucks you, well, all the speeches and the preaches and the teaches and the talks, well, they go in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
It then comes down. It's incumbent upon the individual in a team game to galvanize, like I said last week, being your brother's keeper, galvanizing the team so that A can get to B, can get to C, and get to D. And that has not been a problem watching back all of these games in the human nature gets to win to department for teams that aren't going to the playoffs. And it was personified yesterday. But that all plays into the consistency that is required, not only for McCarthy, but for everybody. All the kids always have, always do, and always will love going to Dallas. They love playing games in the Big D. So that's going to have some built-in motivation there. And it's a standalone Sunday night game. And they haven't been great in those scenarios this year. And I already have heard that a little bit. So that's on their minds into Sunday night. Vikings in Dallas, Sunday night, 7:20 KFAN. The analyst on the Vikings Audio Network will be Pete Bursich, who joins us next.